Okay, let me start the class. Today we will going to discuss the topic of loops. What is a loop and how the loop will be helpful to us in a programming. We'll discuss it. Right. First one, what is a loop? What is a loop? Loop is nothing but a control structure. You have to execute a block of code multiple times. And the function or the method also the same like a loop, but the difference is you can define firstly at the time of the block creation in a loop, you can define how many times the block can be executed with the particular meet condition. But in the method you are calling, based on the calling it will be executed. That is the difference, right? Suppose the loop is a control structure. To execute a block of code multiple times. Okay, it is basically a loop. In the loop also we have the types. Second one we are going to discuss the types of a loops. Types of loops. Types of loops nothing but we have the different types of loops. Suppose we have any programming knowledge, then you can easily understand. We have the for loop, while loop, do while loop, and for each loop is one. It is nothing but it is easily we can perform on a collection framework. If you want to understand the for each loop, you have the some knowledge on arrays and objects, then only it will be understand to you. We'll discuss it. Right, for loop. First we'll go with the for loop. For loop. First we'll see the basic syntax of the for loop. What is the syntax? For initialization, semicolon, condition, semicolon, and increment or decrement. Increment or decrement, both. That means we are initializing one condition here, and that based on the initialization we have to make one condition, and you can increment or decrement. This is the difference between the for loop and the while loop. In the while loop, first it will be check the condition, but here we are first initializing, and based on the increment and decrement, it was the different thing. And block. Block of statement. Block of statements, right? Okay, this is the basic syntax of a for loop. First we'll run one program on the for loop, after we'll go to the while and all. We'll go one by one, right? Okay, go to the Eclipse. I think all of you know how to create a project. Some of you don't know. Because of that, I'll create a project once again. Then you can easily understand, right? First, when we are creating a project, go to the file. In the file, new. Here you have seen the Java project. click on that Java project. Okay, here you can define your project name. Suppose I am giving the project name of November batch, right? If already the project name exists in your project explorer, then it cannot take. If the project November batch is not in that, then only it will take, right? Click on the next and click on a finish. Okay, here it will be created the November batch. Okay, here it will create, and the projects are the classes you have to run in the SRC folder. But in the folder also you have to create one package. If you are not creating a package, it will default package. It will be created automatically by your project. Better to you can create a package here in the SRC. Right click on SRC. Go to the new. Here you can see a package. You can give any name. You can give any name. I can go with a com.now. It will be anything. Not fixed with the com, not fixed with anything. Okay. Finish. Right. It will be the default package com.now. In this you can create your classes and you can run your own programs. Click on new and create a class. Click on com.now, create a class. My class name will be the for loop, and I can click on the public static void main, right? It defaultly created, right? If you are do like this, it will insert package here first thing. If not package import here, your Java program also not. Okay, follow these steps when you are creating a new project and all. I hope it is clear to you. Now we will do one thing. A simple program on a for loop. Print the 1 to 10 natural numbers. Right. Print 1 to 10 natural numbers. Right. Suppose for int, first one is initialization, right? So int, that means data type, and the variable initialization I with the 0, and 1 to suppose 0 to 10, right? So I'll go with the 1. 1 to 10 means 1 less than or equals to 10. If I write less than only, then it will stop at the 9. We'll see that one also, and incrementing the I. Right? And here I have to print the, what I have to print here? I, right? Why? My I value only the increment. I becomes 1, I becomes 2, I becomes 3, I becomes 4, I becomes 5, I becomes 6, I becomes 7, I becomes 8, and I becomes 9, and I becomes 10. That means I is the changing. So I can print the, or I can access the values by using I. I is a one variable, not a exact value, right? So I will be changing. So I can access it. And run this. Right. If you see here, it will print 1 to 10 from top to bottom, right? Suppose you want to print in a single line, then simply you can write println with a print. Okay. Suppose you want the spaces, then plus, okay, this is the way. println, what it do is, when one statement will print, it will comes to the new line. If you use the print, it will be in the same line only. It is the difference between print and the println. Okay? Right. This is the basic program on for loop. We'll go with the another things also. Suppose if you want to print only even numbers in your 1 to 10, then suppose you want to print only the even numbers from the 1 to 10 range, then what can you do? Suppose my I will be the values 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10, right? When I becomes 11, this condition not meets, then it will not execute this loop. It is visible, right? I becomes these all values. When I becomes 11, it will not meet this condition, then this for loop not execute. Every time when the I changes, it will checks this condition. If the condition true only, it will execute this loop. If condition false, it will not execute this loop. Okay, you have to understand that one. Right. Suppose now I want to print only even numbers in the for loop range 1 to 10 or the 1 to 15. Okay, now I can change 1 to 15. How can I do? Every time I write 1, 2, 3. Suppose I want to check 1 is even or not, 2 is even or not, 3 is even or not, 4 is even or not. That means I have to check my I is even or not. I have to check my I is even or not. In before yesterday also we discussed that a mod 2 like that. That means variable we are checking. Here also if I modulus 2 equals to 0, that means I is even, right? If this condition true means I is even, then only I can print I or even number. Okay, we'll check, and my output will be the 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, sorry, 12, 14 and okay, 14. Why 15 will be the last I value, and this condition true, but it's not a odd number, it is a odd number, so it will not perform this statement, right? Okay, we'll execute this one. We are getting line by line 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. That means what you understand here, normally if you have to print 1 to 10 natural numbers, then what you can do, you can write 10 system.out.println numbers, system.out.println 1, system.out.println 2, system.out.println 3. Like this you can write n number of system.out.println, right? Suppose I can write 1, I can write 2, I can write 2, I can write 3. Like this I have to write for the n natural numbers. Instead of that, for loop simplifies my code. For loop or looping statement simplifies my code. You have to understand that one. Looping statement simplifies the code. This single statement I have to execute the n number of times. So I have to place this in a loop. In a real life entity or in a real project, so how it will help is, suppose take the example of a cart. In the cart, every item have some price, right? So all cart items can be sum. You don't know how many cart items you have. It will be depends. You are adding and deleting, then changes. So by using a for loop, you can calculate the sum. Suppose I want to do sum of 10 natural numbers here. Sum of 10 natural numbers here. How can I do? Suppose I can declare float sum equals to 0. Okay, sum equals to 0. Sum of n natural numbers means what? 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8 plus 9 plus 10. Right? Like that you have to perform. Sum plus sum equal to sum plus I. That means initially my sum value is 0 in the first iteration. Take the example in the first iteration. Okay, take the example in the first iteration. In the first iteration, my I value will be the 1, sum is 0 and 0 plus 1. Sum becomes 1. Next, I value will be the 2, sum is already 1, so 1 plus 2. We'll examine this code, how it will happens. Right. We'll examine this code, how it will goes through and all. In the looping statement, the main thing is you have to understand in which iteration the values changing how. That is the main thing in the when comes to the this entire thing. Okay, right? It is the code. Right. Initially, in the first iteration, we are calling in the loops iterations. In the first iteration, what is the I value? 1. Sum value 0. Why? Because we already initialized the sum with a 0, right? So I is 1, sum is 0. And when this condition true, 1 less than 15. So comes to the enters into the loop. Enter loop and perform sum equals to, what is the sum value before? 0 plus I value. I is 1. Then sum becomes 1. The same way in the second iteration. In the second iteration, what is the I value here? 2. Right? I is incremented, right? So I value 2. Sum is 1. Sum is 1, right? Next. And enters the loop. Why? I is less than 15. So enters the loop and sum equals to 1 plus 2. Then my sum becomes 3. Right? Then my sum becomes 3. In the third iteration, I becomes 3, sum becomes 3, then loop execute, sum equals to sum plus I. That means sum already is 3, I already 3, then it will go 6. Like this it will iterate till this condition fails. Okay? I hope understand the iterations, how it will go. Clear? Right. We'll execute this one. we are not print anything, right? So because of that. Sys out some, okay, we are printing this. Okay. It is 120 point. We'll do one thing here. Before initializing the sum, we can analyze how the variables change here. So if you understand one loop perfectly, then you can easily go with the other loops also. System.out.println I iteration. Suppose I is the iteration count, right? I iteration in the ith iteration or ith iteration plus I value. Suppose I equals to plus what is the I1 in the ith iteration, I value, and next plus some value. I have to check some value. Equals to sum, right? Then you can understand here in the iteration how it will change. That means this system.out.println statement execute 15 times. Okay, in the first iteration, I equals to 1. Wait a minute. Now it looks good. In the first iteration, I value 1, sum is 0. We are initializing with a float, right? So because of that, sum is 0, 0.0. In the second iteration, I is 2, sum will be the 1, and that means this 1 plus 0. And here 2 plus 1, 3, sum, I 3. Then 3 plus 3, sum becomes 6 here, 4, like this. Here 105 plus 15, 120. I hope you understand how the variable values changes here, right? It is the main thing when you are dealing with heavy programs in the loops. Okay, right? Now we'll see the while loop. Okay, while loop. The syntax of the while loop is while loop executes the block of code based on a condition. Okay, suppose we'll see one syntax and we'll see some programs, then you can easily understand. Syntax will be the while is a keyword and condition and a block of statements. And block of statements, while, condition and a block of statements. This is the syntax for the while loop. Now we'll see some programs on the while loops, then you can easily understand. The same program, what we are do in the while loop, we can do in the same while loop also. We'll see that one. I can create another class for that. Create on a package, right click on the package, go to the class. My class name will be the while loop. If you observe, I will giving as a capital letter. Because of that, I am not using any keyword here. Okay, while loop. In the while loop, the same thing. We are printing the 10 natural numbers here. Okay, the same thing, 10 natural numbers. How can we do 10 natural numbers? Suppose I initializing int I equals to 0, int I equals to 0 or I equals to 1, 1 to 10 means y equals to 1. Then you have to write while condition, right? What is the condition? I less than or equals to 10. this is the condition, right? You have to write in the for loop or you have to write in the while loop, the same condition. But in the for loop you can write increment value there only, but here you have to increment here. Suppose I have to write system dot sysout of I, and here suppose first I 1 less than or equals to 10, so 1 will be print. But if you run this, it will print only the 1. Why? We are not changing the I value, right? That means it will enter to the infinite loop. When you are dealing with a loop, the major problem will cause is the system will be enter into the infinite loop. That means when the condition not meets, then your system will you can stop here. Why? Because it will goes to the infinite loop, right? Why? My I value is 1. This condition never fails. 1 less than or equals to 10, 1 less than or equals to 10, 1 less than or equals to 10. If you are not meet the end condition, it will goes to the infinite loop. So I less than or equals to 10. You have to increment the I value, right? So I plus plus. I plus plus. That means it is called as a incrementing operator. I plus plus or I minus. I plus plus means incrementing, I minus minus means decrementing. Okay? Then automatically it will resolve. Right? It will print the 1 to 10. Okay. Now what I have to do is I have to print the only the 3 multiples in this 1 to 10 range or anything. I have to print only the 3 multiples. Multiples of 3 means 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. Like that I have to print the 30. Up to 30 I have to print. How can I do that? Simply I can change it to the 30. Okay, why? Because my endpoint will be the 30, right? So I have to give the upper range 30 and here what I have to do? I plus plus means it will increment by 1. I'll do simply I plus equals to 3. I plus equals to 3 and I'll start this with a 3. Why? Why? If I start with 1, it will print 1 also because of that. It will throw an error. Why? Because I am not placing a semicolon here. Right? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30. Right? And another way also you can do. Simply you can do with a 1 and you can write it in a if condition. If the number is multiple of 3 means it will exactly divisible by 3. It will exactly divisible by 3. That means I modulus 3 will be the 0. If equals to 0, then you can print it. Okay. Then you can print it. Here you can simply do I plus plus only. Not at all any issue. It is one way, it is one way. I modulus 3. Three, 6, 9, 4. The same output. You can do one program in a many ways. Okay, but you have to be check which is the efficient way. Suppose if I do like this, it will goes to the 30 iterations and 30 comparisons. 1 to 30 and 30 comparisons. Suppose I'll do in the previous way, it will skip with only 10 iterations. Why? Because I3, I6, I9, I12, like that it will goes to the only 10 iterations. You are getting your requirement. Okay, when you are doing a program, you have to do it in an efficient way and you have to use the less memory and the less time. It takes 30 iterations means it will take some time more than the 10 iterations, right? For the same execution of a task, right? We have to avoid that. It is the issue. Okay, it is the thing. Suppose now what I have to do is, I think all of you know the tables, right? We have to print one table. We have to print one table by using a, suppose I have to print a 5 table. Okay, it will execute by a program, right? So we'll give the toughest table, 19 table, 18 tables, 17 tables, okay, or 100 table, 99 table, like that. Simply, how can I do that? How can I do that? Table values to the 10 only, right? Table values to the 10 only. My I value becomes 1. If 5 table means 5 into 1, 5 into 2, 5 into 3, 5 into 4, 5 into 5. That means which one is fixed? First one is fixed. I, which is the one that all. Right? Suppose I have to print like sysout, sysout 5. Suppose I have to print the 16 table. Then suppose I have to print 16 tables, 16 plus my I value. In this I have to print the into symbol, right? So into plus I value plus 16 into I, right? 16 into 1, 16 into 3, 16 into 4, like that. And I have to increment the I value. Control S and run this. Okay. We are getting, but what is that plus operator do here is concatenate. Here, concatenate. When you go with the string and the numbers and all, it will concatenate, not addition. 16 into 1, 16, 16 into 32, 16 into 3, 48, 16 into 4, 64, 16 into 5, 80, 16 into 6, 96. Like that you can do any number multiplication table, right? And the same thing, suppose you have to print the 1 to 10 tables. 1 to 10 tables, not one table, that means not one constant table, 1 to 10 range of tables. Then it will the concept of nested loops, we'll discuss that one later after completion of the do while, right? Here only we can see the what is a do while loop do. If you have to understand, the while loop is when the condition meets only, it will executes the block of statement. First it checks the condition, right? This is the difference between while loop and the do while loop. Do while loop first executes the block of statements, after that check the condition. But while loop first executes the, first checks the condition, after executes it, right? We'll see that do while loop also. Class do while. Okay, class do while. In this the basic syntax is, here only I can write the syntax. The syntax is do, here I can write do, open brace, block of statements, and while of condition. While of condition. It is the syntax for your do while loop. is the syntax. The same program what we are do for that 1 to 10 natural numbers do with this do while loop also. First I can initialize my I value int I equals to 1 and int I equals to 1 and that will be the do sysout of I and 1 to 10 I have to print, right? So while of I have to check my I is less than or equals to 10. Okay? Right. Infinite loop, huh? Why? We are not incrementing the I value. Because of that, we are go to the infinite loop. When you are dealing with the loops, it is the big task. You have to check we are meeting the end condition or not. Right? Okay. Now my thing is, I have to print the 10 to 1, not 1 to 10. Then I can simply inverse it, right? It will be the 10. It will be the I only. It will decrement now. I minus minus. 1 to 10, 10 to 1 means till what condition? I greater than or equals to 1 or I greater than 0. Anything. Right? Will this 10 to 1? Like this you can do. Right? Suppose I less than okay, I greater than 10. Suppose I have to do this. Then my output will be the 10 only. It will 10. Okay? But I am achieving my goal or not? Not, right? Why? Because I is 10, but I have to, my aim is to print if the I value is greater than 10 only I have to print. But if I run this, it will print 10, but I don't want the output 10. Why? Because my condition is I greater than 10. It is a drawback of do while loop. That means do while loop statements execute at least one time. If the condition true or not, at least one time it will run. This is the difference between while and the do while. When the interviewer asks you about what is the difference between while and the do while loop executes at least one time the block of statements. One time, at least one time. Right. Okay, this is the difference between the do while and the while. Okay. Next we will see the nested loops. Nested loops. What is the nested loop and how we do? Nested loop will be you can do with the for loops and the while loops. Anything. Okay, it is not an issue. Okay, I can create another class for the nested loops. The class nested loop. And I can go with the public static void main finish. Okay. Nested loop. What is the syntax for the nested loops? We'll see. Syntax is simple. You can write, we already see the nested ifs, right? Nested if means if you write one if and inside the one if, then it will call as a nested if. Here also the same, like you can write one loop inside the one loop, then it will call as a nested loops. You can see the syntax. Suppose for initialization, same initialization condition, also you can go with the increment, you can go with the increment or decrement. It is a loop. Inside this also the same, you can write any, okay, you can do any operation block of statements here. You can write inside this for also, you can write here also some block of statements, it will not affect anything. And one thing, for inside for only not a nested loop, or while inside while only not a nested loop. You can write for inside while also, it will fine. Okay, you can write one loop inside any loop, it will called as a nested loops, right? Okay, it is the syntax for your nested loops. Now what I have to do is I can tell one best example to the nested for loop is print the 1 to 10 multiplication tables, 1 to 10 multiplication tables. How can we do that? Is simply for suppose I have to do 1 to 10, right? Initializing int I equals to 1 and I less than or equals to 10. That means I have to print 1 to 10 numbers, 10 tables, 1 to 10 tables, right? Inside the for I have to do another thing, for int I equals to j less than or equals to, sorry, j equals to 10, sorry, j equals to 1, j equals to 1, j less than or equals to 10, j plus plus, right? Suppose if we are using I here, it will replicate here, right? Because of that you are not using the same variable initializations, right? I have to do system dot what I have to do, I is my, suppose I have to print like 1 into 1 equals to 1, 1 into 2 or 2 into 1 equals to, like that means it will defines my table, 1 table printing, 2 table printing, it will defines 1 into 1 or 1 into 2 or 1 into 3. That means which you have to multiply, you are multiplying with I plus equals to x, simply in multiplication symbol, plus j defines the multiplication, right? So and also okay, equals to plus equals to I into j, right? I think it was fine, but yeah, but not in a good way. We'll add some print statement to getting the better, right? What I'm doing here is, you can write just println, right? So this out, just writing one empty print statement outside this loop. That means if after printing one multiplication table, take one empty line that I am defining. If you observe, you can understand. This is the space I have to declare here. That means how actually it will runs is, You have to understand the nested for loops a lot. Why? Because when you are dealing with the arrays or the matrices problems, nested for loops is the key to achieve that, right? Okay. Suppose first I value, in the first I value, when the I equals to 1, j will be the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. The same thing it will repeat for the I equals to 2. The same thing it will repeat for the I equals to 2 also. The same thing repeat for the I equal to 3 also. That means the inside loop is not changing. The I value of the outside will be the change. You understand that? The outer loop will be the change only. Right? You can do multiple things. Right? I equals to 3. Then I equals to 4. That means for every I value, it will inside loop runs for the 10 times. For the every I value, inside loop runs. That means almost you are getting the 100 iterations. Why? It is 1. Here 10, 10, 10, 10 into 10, 100 iteration. Normally this loop time complexity will called as a n square. In general, we are calling as a n square. Why? Because here you can mention the 10, but you are not mentioning 10 here. You can mentioning a variable n. You are reading somewhere. That means it will change. So it depends on the n value. So n square will be the, or a square, anything. Based on the variable, it will be the time complexity will be changed. Time complexity is the different thing. Right. Okay. We'll do one thing. I think you all know how to do a prime number program. Prime number program. Right. How can you say one number is a prime? How can we say? Suppose the 5 is a prime. If we are saying the prime 5 is a prime, that means it has the only two factors, 1 and itself. 1 and itself. It has the only two factors. Right? That means if you have to check a number is prime, you have to find the factors count. Factors count for that number. Right? We will do a program for that. Right. Right. We'll do a prime number program. First we'll do the factors, finding factors. Finding factors. How can you find the factors, right? Suppose I have to check the factors for the n. N means we are not dealing with the scanner classes and all, right? So we are taking one basic examples. Int I equals to 7. Okay, I have to check the factors for the 7. I have to check the factors for the 7. How can I check? If I equal to 7 means I have to check the factors, means the factors lies between 1 to 7. So I have to check in the range of for int k equals to 1. Why? Because factors start from the 1, right? So also k less than or equals to 7. 7 not I. 7 and I both are the same, but I am declaring I. Why? Because I am changing the 7 every time I have to do that. So k plus plus, and also do with a, what I have to do, check the factor or not, right? How can you say k is factor to 7? How can I say k is factor to 7? Simply, suppose if 1 is factor to 7 means 7 mod, if you are dividing 7 with 1, the remainder is 0, then I can say the 1 is factor to the 7. If I do 7 division with 2, it will get the remainder 0. Then only I can say the 2 is factor to 7. That means you have to perform the modulus operation here, right? So if I mod k, I is the 7, k, I mod k equals to 0, then I can print that, right? Then I can print that. How can I print? I can print what? K. K is the factor, right? So factor k. Simple. Control S. Once run the program. 7 factors are 1 and 7. It has to print only 1 and 7, right? Suppose I have to check for the 8. I have to check for the 8. Right? We know how to find the factors. Then you can easily do a number is prime or not, right? A number is prime means it has only the 2 factors. It has only the 2 factors. That means the factors count will be the 2. So what I am do here, I can initialize one variable int count equals to 0. Int count equals to 0. Int count equals to 0. Suppose it is true, this statement is true. If I mod k equals to 0, then count will be increment to 1. That means I can count in the how many factors the number has. Then how can I tell here? The count equals to 2 if of count equals to 2, then I can tell the number is prime. The number is prime. Or else sys out not prime, right? Control S and saving it. 8 is not a prime, right? We'll check with the 2. 2 is a prime number. We'll go with the 5. 5 is a prime number. We all are know 2, 5, 7, 9 are prime numbers. We check with the unknown number, right? 73. I think 73. It will be not divisible. Maybe. We'll check. Prime 73 is prime. Why? Because it is not divisible by anything. It will not divisible by 7. Any number, right? Because of that. It is the basic way to how to do in a prime number checking. You all know the factorial, right? Factorial means suppose 5 is a number. Factorial for the 5 is 120. How can you take 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1? Right? We'll do that by using a. We can do that by using a for loop, right? Easily. Any number will be the for. It will be that difficult. We'll go with the while. We can practice on the while also, right? So I'll declaring one I equals to 7. I have to check the factorial value of the 7. Int I equals to 7. I have to check the factorial value of the 7. How can I check the factorial value for the 7? Suppose I can check while of I have to initialize here one variable int k equals to 1. Sorry. Okay. Int k equals to 1. Also int fact equals to 1. The same like a sum of n natural numbers. In the sum of n natural numbers, what you do? Summing the addition operation. Factorial, you can do the multiplication operation. How can I do that is, while I less than or equals to, sorry, k less than or equals to I